You can't imagine NBA players bought these. If you have a ton of money and don't know where to spend it, these are a few inspirations for you. Millionaires and sports players have been known to spend money on insane items. Give a testosterone-fueled, barely an adult guy a load of money, and you'll have purchases ranging from crazy jewelry, insanely expensive shoes, digital products, and exotic animals. These are some of the things you cannot imagine NBA players could have ever bought over the years. Can't wait to delve right in? But before that, please make sure that you click on the subscribe button because you're watching Sportflix, your most loved sports channel. Now, these are the craziest things NBA players have ever bought. A house for shoes? We shall start with P.J. Tucker, famous for his insane sneaker collections. He found inspiration when he realized that his wife was more prone to get mad at him with shoes all around the house. And now, what else to do but build a separate mansion for his shoe collection? Talk about taking a walk-in closet to the next level. And yes, it actually is a mansion, for he owns over 5,000 pairs of sneakers. That title would be reserved for his most expensive pair of shoes, a $250,000 worth Jordan pair, with leather made from crocodile skin and embellished with 2,000 white diamonds in 150 grams of 14-karat gold. His Nike swoosh is his loft's pride. Such was the craftsmanship required that it took over 100 hours to make these shoes. Sneakers made of gold. If these shoes weren't jazzy enough, next up we have LeBron, who literally had shoes made of gold. His custom-made sneakers were crocodile leather covered in pure gold with actual solid gold around the shoe. These Nike customs cost him around $100,000. Nike had them custom-made to celebrate LeBron crossing the 30,000 points mark. Not only these, but he also had a custom-made live pendant encrusted in pure diamonds. Custom jewelry pieces. Shoes might be the most popular, but these aren't the only accessories that NBA players are fond of. John Moran is a huge collector of jewelry and has a completely insane collection. The one thing that would blow your mind is that he got a custom care package with the diamond version of his shoes, along with a custom chain of his name. Talk about narcissism, huh? Watch collections. Next up in NBA accessories worth mentioning, we have Jason and his watches. Jason has always been an avid collector of luxury and statement watches. He started with the Tatum Gold Rolex. This was eventually followed by an upgrade to the Frosted Flake Diamond AP. If the name seems like a mouthful, wait for the price. It was worth $150,000. Though a class apart, this piece isn't even his most expensive purchase. That would be a piece so rare that most usually find contentment with a replica, an all-white Richard Mille. Lego structures. While some are fans of jewelry, other NBA players have different tastes. Some might call it classic and some childish. Miles Turner, the star, decided to have a life-size replica of himself built. The catch is that he wanted it with Lego blocks. And wait, for it gets better, he had to be in a Darth Vader costume. He has a particular obsession with Darth Vader, as that is how he would be dressed before NBA games. He had even hired 2 stormtroopers to follow him around. His replica was made up of around 10,000 Lego pieces and took over 16 hours to complete. His Lego collection includes a 10,294-piece Titanic ship, which he built by himself. Bored apes. Next up, we have the guy who purchased and lost almost half the money he invested. The crazy thing in 2021 was NFT, with Bored Apes being termed the next best thing. Steph Curry decided to go along with the trend. In the year of NFT, he purchased a Bored Ape worth $180,000. This granted him access to the exclusive Bored Apes Yacht Club, which had a handful of elites as members. To ensure that the public did believe him, he swapped a selfie of himself and posted it on the Bored Apes Discord. Eventually, when the cryptocurrency crashed, he would lose a ton of money and his Bored Apes would be valued at less than half of the purchase price. I would be devastated if I lost thousands of dollars, but that's the upside to being a millionaire. Thousands are merely loose change for Steph Curry, as he is worth over $160 million to date. Before we proceed any further, let's take a moment to let that information sink in. Meanwhile, you can drop down to subscribe to our channel. If this is some crazy new information that you've gathered today, do not forget to like the video. If NHL tidbits and everything about sports interest you, follow our channel Sportflix for more such amazing content. A literal monkey. With digital mammals losing a shit ton of money for Steph Curry, let's look at whether a live one would fare any better with an NBA player. What happens when you give millions of dollars to a guy who's barely out of his teens? At 19 years old with the New Orleans Pelicans, he had his exclusivity contract extended to a whopping $127.2 million. With this insane amount of money in hand, he decided he needed a cool pet. So he picked one, not something tame like a dog, cat, or hamster, but a monkey. He arranged for a marmoset monkey, which he named Meek. He was inspired by his teammate, who at the time had a monkey as a pet which would do tricks and even play peekaboo. Anthony was sorely disappointed when he discovered his monkey, Meek, was not as smart or not trained for such shit. He eventually decided to return the monkey to his teammate. Wildcats in a pair. Buying a monkey, though weird, might be forgivable in some instances, but what this next player got as a pet will shock you. 20-year-old Ben Simmons was drafted at N1 pick and signed a 4-year contract. The deal was worth $26.2 million. This barely adult, filthy rich guy decided to go ahead and get a cat. An indoor cat was too tame for him, as he chose not an ordinary feline, but a wild one. He got a $4,000 Savannah cat. He argued that since one would get lonely, he bought another Savannah cat to keep it company. These $6,000 worth of wildcats were something he could not handle. He and his brother struggled to get a handle on them and eventually returned them back to the breeder. So the cats were gone and left behind thousands of dollars worth of cat scratches. A condo mansion for snakes. If this is what you thought was wild, let's talk about the pets of Dwight Howard and their insane living conditions. Dwight, who's a fan of snakes, had a mini condo mansion built for his pets. The mansion houses 14 snakes and is built to simulate their natural living conditions. Did I mention that it's over 12 feet wide and 9 feet tall? In the middle, it houses a 150-gallon freshwater tank for over 50 exotic fishes. Around the tank, on the two sides, they built 2 large cases for the big snakes. As Dwight calls them, all the cases, or mansions, have thick trees resembling the natural forests and water sources. Everything a snake could ask for was provided for in this grand project, which all cost him around $50,000 to $60,000. Lucky snakes. This brings us to the end of today's video. If you found the video fascinating, do show your appreciation by dropping a like. Be sure to comment and tell us what you liked. Follow us for more amazing content and click on the bell icon for the latest updates.